Welcome back, guys. I just thought I would show you, as promised, my new CPS2 board that I recently picked up. This is Darkstalkers Night Warriors. This is, I believe, known as Vampire the Night Warriors in Japan, and this was developed and released by Capcom in 1994, which was originally released on this CPS2 format. I love these CPS2 boards. Just showing you, that's the fan there. They can be very, very noisy. Some people actually change them over for silent fans, but I'm not sure I'm actually going to do that. Once it's in the arcade cab, don't really notice it anyway. The label on top is peeling slightly, so I'll try to get something to stick that down at some point. Generally I leave all of these stickers on the board. There's the underneath of the board. So this is the game board, and you need the motherboard to actually be able to play these games. I've got a couple of these motherboards now that came with the game boards. They're known as the A and B boards basically, and one slots into the other. So I'm just going to open this up now. If you saw my previous video, I installed the InfiniKey, and that basically, if you have that installed or installed it yourself, it does away with the need to actually have the onboard battery in these boards, which I hate having, to be honest with you. I always try to remove those. So this one though, the seller actually offered the option of removing the battery for me and installing the InfiniKey. So yeah, I bought this, bought it from eBay here in Australia, and I just asked him if he would remove the battery and install the InfiniKey, which he's done. So we're just checking this out. He did send me pictures of this anyway, but I always like to just check just to make sure that it's been done. So just using the relevant security screwdriver to get these screws out. The Capcom security bolt's already been removed. You would have had to get rid of that to get in this board and remove the battery. So yeah, this was released in 1994, like I said, on the CPS2, which this is. Just going to carefully unclip this. I believe this was also ported to the PlayStation in 1996. I'd like to get the sequels as well. I believe it's Darkstalkers Revenge, which was released a year later. But I just want to pick up as many of these as I can. Now you can see inside the board there, it is quite dusty. It's not as clean as my other board, but that's alright. The actual arcade PCB is alright. There we can see it there. We can see that the revision number is 7, which is different to the Super Street Fighter 2 board that I had, which was a revision 4. You can see the battery's been removed. Take the board out. Try to be careful with it if you can. I've actually moved house now, so I've got a dedicated office here. So I'm just on the actual desk this time rather than the floor. There we can see what he's done there. He's installed, this is a different install to the last one, in a different location on the board. It's on the underside of the board because it's revision 7. He's done a pretty good job of that, as you can see. I don't think just make sure that that's slotted in. I was just going to say that I think I did a pretty good job with my Super Street Fighter 2 InfiniKey install, but if you haven't seen that, please check that video out. But yeah, they're quite straightforward to do, guys, to be honest with you. I will always try to buy these boards with the InfiniKey already installed. Just saves me a bit of time and effort. and worry, obviously. But yeah, if I did have to install it again on another board, well, I think I'd give it a go if I had to. So just getting this PCB back in the case. Going to screw these back down. I haven't got much experience with the Darkstalkers games, to be honest with you. I believe that back in the day, I did have this game on the PlayStation. I almost certainly had a version of the Darkstalkers series of games on the Sega Saturn. I did have a Sega Saturn at one point, and the beat 'em ups were far superior on that system compared to the PlayStation 1, mainly due to the just make sure that's screwed in. That's the top of the case. There's the motherboard. I'm going to slot this in. I'm just showing you the motherboard. Yeah, the Sega Saturn, for a lot of these fighting games, actually you could use the extra RAM cartridge, I believe it was. I generally got mine with, I had a King of Fighters game, I think it was King of Fighters 95, and that RAM cartridge came with that, and that just slotted into the relevant slot on the Sega Saturn, and then you just put the disc in, a CD as normal, to play the game, and it just gave quicker load times, better graphics in my opinion, sounds. It just improved the overall experience of the fighting games, and in particular King of Fighters games and X-Men games. I believe I had X-Men Children of the Atom on that. Fantastic game that was. I'd love to get that one on CPS2 original arcade board. But yeah, so that's really my only experience with the Darkstalkers games, but I love it. I generally love watching films, as you guys probably know by now, but I love horror films in particular. But so the horror genre I've always loved, the classic monsters, Dracula, werewolf, Frankenstein's monster, Mummy, things like that. So any games to do with that subject matter I love, and Darkstalkers is fantastic. So here we have my Sega Astro City again. This is again in my study, which study stroke game room. So I've got this plugged in here. So I'm using this JNX adapter only because my jammer connector, jammer harness of my Astro City is pretty old. It was frying a couple of boards, so I've got the JNX adapter plugged in, and then the board's connected to that. That was the CPS2 kick harness there I've just pointed to. That goes up to the control panel to enable me to use the kick buttons. So that enables me to use all 6 buttons on my arcade cabinet. So there we have it. See a little dent there in the corner on the left. Now, like I said to you guys, we just moved house. We moved here just around the corner from where we previously lived, and the removal men, shitty removal guys, removal company, and they smashed loads of things up. And I had this arcade machine all wrapped up, and I don't know how they did it, but even through the wrapping was ripped, and they've put a big dent in the corner of my of the control panel on this arcade cab. Now, I know that these machines are old, and they're going to have knocks and dents and stuff, but yeah, I would have preferred they hadn't done that. So I might just leave it. If it bothers me too much, I might try and patch it up. But there we have it, guys. Look, the game board loads up perfectly. Just love these games. You'll probably notice a bit of flicker in there. I've got this new camera, new phone, and it's a Note 20, using the camera on that, trying to adjust the shutter speed and everything so that you don't see the flickering lines going down. But obviously the picture on the screen looks far better when I'm actually in front of the screen through my own eyes than it is on this camera, but this is the best I can do, guys. So we'll just have a little play. So I'm picking the pick the vampire, why not, Dimitri. There's a total of 10 playable characters in this. Dimitri Maximoff, John Tarlbane is the werewolf, Victor von Gerdenheim, Frankenstein's monster, Lord Raptor, Morrigan, there's a mummy, Anakaris, Felicia, Catwoman, Bishaman, Samurai, Ghost Samurai. There's a merman in it as well, I believe, Rikuo, and a Sasquatch, good old Yeti, good old abominable snowman. So it's got all the monster classics in here. You've also got a couple of bosses as well, but might do a complete playthrough of this one time and show you those. So I think there's 2 final bosses, from what I remember. Plays very similar to the other Capcom fighters like Street Fighter 2, things like that. You've got all the standard moves, kicks and punches, specials. Got things like air blocking, chain combos. You won't see many of those here from me. I'm well rusty at these games. There's also a super combo system, so you can see the power bar, super bar there at the bottom, and then it's similar movements to Street Fighter to actually be able to pull off those moves. One thing I've noticed is that special bar at the bottom does deplete. So unlike similar games like Street Fighter and things like that, you can just keep your special there until you really need to use it. I generally only use the super special when I absolutely have to. If I think I'm going to lose, I think, okay, yeah, I'll use this now. Or if the round is too far gone, I then sometimes just don't use it at all. I'm not sure actually if you can carry the power bar over to the next round. I'll have to check that one. No, that's what I was thinking then, but maybe that's incorrect. But anyway, I know that in an actual particular round in Street Fighter, the special bar just stays there, so you can just use it when you want. In this game, it does deplete, so you just can't hang on to it forever. So it's always best to use your super specials. But like I said, you won't see many of them here. I'm terrible these days at learning button combinations, and especially the complex ones to do super specials. So I can do the standard fireball, dragon punch, hurricane kick motions, but red fireball there. So I've killed a couple of characters. Picture and sounds, backgrounds are lovely in this game. Like all of these beat 'em ups though, they get progressively harder when you, or more difficult, the further you get through the game. Generally you can only beat a couple of characters and then that's it. They're always much more fun, these one-on-one beat 'em ups in 2-player anyway, or multiplayer. Have a group of mates round and just your winner stays on or something like that. It's fantastic. But I often play this game with my boys. Growing by the day, they love to sit there and have little competitions on this. So I got beaten there by, is that Raptor, the zombie guitarist. I'll try to spam these cheap moves and see if I can win around at least. blocking everything. That's the thing sometimes playing against these computer controlled opponents, they tend to block most of your moves, but I won a round, so not bad. It's so good to actually have these original boards. Can be quite pricey here in Australia. I believe this board cost me around 290 Australian dollars. So if you're in the UK, I believe that's about 160, 170 pounds. I didn't check the exchange rate recently, but yeah, so they're not cheap for one game, but and I don't get too many of them. When I've got the money, I like to just invest in pick the odd one up, as well as the other arcade bits and pieces that I pick up. I've got a few bits coming through actually. I've been a bit frivolous recently, but I lost that one, so I'll just continue. Let's pick the werewolf who does his transformation there. Backgrounds are pretty good as well. Got some moving characters, really bright, vibrant colours as well. And if you noticed, I selected a different turbo speed. So you've got 3 turbo speeds on this from what you notice. 1 is slow, 2 is just medium, and 3 is like super fast. So depending on your preference, just you can select the different speeds. I think this is too fast, so too fast for me. But I've got him with a cheap shot there. Managed to lose that one again, so we'll put the speed down, I think. Let's pick another character. I love it because you can reenact these classic monster battles, you know, Dracula versus werewolf. Here we've got Frankie, Frankenstein's monster versus Dracula. So he's like your Zangief character, bigger character. He's got more devastating moves. He can get close and get hold of the opponent or the enemy. We'll just spam a couple of moves if it works. Keep doing it just to see if we can get through this. Now I know that CPS2 can be pretty well emulated these days. Some might say perfectly, but and I do occasionally play these on emulation. But to actually have these on original, you know that it's 100% accurate. So. Yeah, it's just a great experience for me anyway. I know it's a lot of money. Some people might think, well, you know, for the price you paid on that, you could have spent that on other bits and pieces, and you could have just emulated all of these. Well, yeah, I know that, but I don't own many of these original arcade boards, but when I can pick them up, my favourite games, then I will. And yeah, really glad to, I won that one. Really glad to be able to get this. And in my view, what's the point of owning a couple of original arcade machines and not having any original games for it? So I like to have some, and that's why I mainly collect the Neo Geo MVS. So on the cab next to it by Neo Geo 4-slot, I have the 4-slot motherboard, and I always have 4 cartridges in there. I change those every now and then, and I think last count I've got 52 MVS cartridges, something like that. So that collection is growing, and I just love it. So we're fighting Raptor here, the crazed zombie maniac. Hopefully guys, I will have more videos featured on my channel in the next coming weeks and months. I've been a bit quiet on that front recently. I've just been so busy with everything, moving and changing jobs and all of that stuff. So I think I lost the game. Let's choose another character. Good old Sasquatch. Abominable Snowman, or Yeti, goes by several names. So hopefully I'll have a bit more time to be able to do some more videos. Do miss it guys, and sorry to all of you who have subscribed to my channel, but sometimes life gets in the way. Now let's just spam a few moves, see if we can kill this zombie motherfucker. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's got all these kiddies there. Are those his kiddies or little snowmen? Oh, managed to win that one just at the end, doing a little dance. I thought he was going to beat me then. So on we go. Facing the werewolf. Love the backdrops in some of these levels. It's got me trapped in the corner, cannot move. Managed to get out of it. Slam him down. Oh, Had a feeling I was going to lose that one. Good old werewolf. Final round. Oh, what a bastard. Close one. Let's give this guy a go. The Fishman or Merman or whatever you want to call him. Who was the creature in the old movies? Was it the creature from the Black Lagoon or something? I guess that's who he's based on. As you can see, most of the characters have got similar moves to the Street Fighter characters. Like that was a move similar to Dowsing's move in Street Fighter 2. We've got the general fireball motions, hurricane kicks, dragon punches. If you can play Street Fighter games, you'll be able to play this game. At least you'll be able to carry out the moves. Managed to cheese that one right at the end. She's quite quick, this cat woman, Alicia. quite sure how I managed to win that, but got through to another round. Okay, this is the mummy guy. I was going to win that one. Oh, you're trapped in the corner. Okay guys, I think I'm going to end that one there. I might feature a video at some point in the future where I play through this, try to get through to the end and face the bosses. But yeah, I'm going to end that there. Just let this count down. So I hope you enjoyed it guys. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It encourages me to make more videos. And I hope to get more arcade boards, more Capcom CPS2 arcade boards in the future. There we go guys. Right, cheers for watching. Bye.